Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at 10 censored LEGO Indiana Jones moments. Across both installments, the LEGO indie games removed quite a bit of content from the movies, some of them being crucial bits of their stories. Did you feel any of these removals or censors were unnecessary? Let us know down in the comments. Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Error, image not allowed. We'll start with an obvious one, that being the typical bad guys that Indy and his allies face for most of the franchise. For Raiders of the Lost Ark and the Last Crusade, Belloc, Tot, and the other baddies are all portrayed as normal soldiers with a dastardly agenda. The same thing occurs in LEGO Indy 2's portrayal of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for Irina and her lackeys. Why so generic and bland looking? Well, the LEGO group probably wouldn't be too happy seeing swastikas and Soviet Union imagery on their bricks and minifigs, which is kind of understandable. Kalina. Speaking of villains, one we left off in our previous entry was Mola Ram from Temple of Doom. Though he and the other thuggies remained unchanged in their appearances, there is one detail that was kept from the LEGO games. Look, if we can't have LEGO characters wearing horrific symbols from the darkest moments of world history, we certainly can't show them performing ritual sacrifices on each other. You can get away with that in something like Mortal Kombat, of course, but not in a game based on a children's toy brand. Tots Toasty Tots. If Mola Ram wanted to give anybody a hand, Arnold Tot could certainly use one. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, Tot intrudes on Marion's bar to steal her medallion, which can help him locate the Ark of the Covenant. However, her medallion gets thrown into a fire, and Tot has the bright idea of grabbing it with his bare hand. A mistake in the moment, yet the scars come in handy for him and Belloc later. Of course, we can't show this mildly grotesque bit in a LEGO game. Tot still burns his hand, but it just gives him a reason to flee the scene. You chose poorly. Any indie fan will recall the harrowing moment where Dr. Jones and Donovan are tasked with determining which of the Grails is the Holy Grail. In the movie The Last Crusade, we see Donovan choose the wrong Grail, causing him to turn into a husk and die. The LEGO version sort of retains Donovan's demise, albeit in a manner that parents would be okay with. Donovan drinks from the false Grail, turns into a husk, and then falls apart. In all honesty, TT Games couldn't have picked a better way to depict the downfall of Walter Donovan. Besides, it's way better than what they did in LEGO Indy 2, where he just becomes Voldemort and can summon tornado monsters or whatever. Chains of Love. We know that we have touched upon this a few times in previous videos, but the romance between Indy and Marion really is a key aspect in the story of Raiders of the Lost Ark and why that movie is so good. Their story is one about two people who really loved each other before recognizing how wrong it was for the both of them, and it really soured things between them. It's not until later when they see how they've evolved for the better and find their true spark. All of this was completely expunged from both LEGO Indy games. Sure, Indy can use his whip to kiss Marion, but for the most part, the romance is very much dead. No dancing, no death, no dinner. One of the oddest decisions made in LEGO Indy 2's version of Temple of Doom was the near-complete removal and botched storytelling of the movie's opening. There is no extravagant dance scene, save for a few seconds of some goofy dancing, there is no poison used by Lau and his goons, and there is no explosive shootout. LEGO Indy 2 wipes that whole segment within a span of about 25 seconds. Given that this was one of the very few good scenes in Temple of Doom, it's a wonder why so much here was changed, and for worse. The game is a head? Going back to the first LEGO Indy game, there is a death midway through the campaign for Raiders of the Lost Ark, specifically the boss fight against the mechanic in the Pursuing the Ark level. The fight against the mechanic is much more cartoony than the movie's version, and it's kind of funny in concept. As for how the mechanic is defeated, well, you know, we can't exactly show an explosion of ketchup in a kid's game, you know? The mechanic's death was altered to show him still alive, but running around headless. Food for thought. Honestly, we don't know if this is more disturbing than the movie version. One famous scene in Temple of Doom is the dinner scene where Willy and the other guests are served chilled monkey brains. Ugh. While we don't get a good look at the brains themselves, we can only imagine how disgusting the picture is. The first LEGO Indy game makes it less visceral, but still somewhat more disturbing. When the monkey brains are served, we're given a less detailed monkey head, but the monkey is still blinking! What is this, man? Close encounters of nothing. Perhaps the strangest alteration in censorship in the LEGO Indy games was the ending of Crystal Skull in LEGO Indy 2. At the end of Part 3, Dr. Jones and Marion are forced to fight Irina, who has become empowered by the interdimensional beings. Upon defeating her, she breaks apart and just disappears. We're not quite sure why such a drastic change was made when nothing like this happens in the movie. Irina simply dies from the overwhelming knowledge and power she's given. We know the song and dance by this point. No violent deaths in our LEGO games are allowed. Dance your heart out, Marion. Funny enough, the first game sort of kept the terrifying visuals of the famous Ark scene. Obviously, it was somewhat toned down and made appropriate for LEGO, but LEGO Indy 2 went a bit further with the alterations. Balak, Tot, and their henchmen are forced to endure the most hardcore dance party of their lives. None of them survive, of course, but we have to admit this was a very creative approach to one of cinema's most graphic and horrific scenes, and the remixed theme ties it all together perfectly. Best censor in the LEGO games, honestly. Did you enjoy this video? Check out some of our other videos here on MojoPlays, and don't forget to subscribe for more great stuff every day.